Good Sunday morning. What does that mean, kids? Church.
And there's fog.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. It's foggy out there. Ooh, it's eerie. So I didn't go to church yesterday. I feel so bad. But it's storming. My hair is doing something weird today. It was storming and I just was tired. I know those aren't good excuses. But we are going. I'm teaching today in Hannah Banana's class. So is he. Well, he's my assistant. He has to do what I tell him to do. Okay.
Mommy, you're going to be in my class now?
All right, for the second class, yes.
In the second
All
class.
right, we will see you there.
There is nothing like your love. Every taste I get, Jesus, I can't get enough. I need you more than the air that I breathe. You capture my heart every beat. Pulling me closer. Yes, you are. I need you all that I ever need to. Pour out my love and to praise you over and over.
So it's not just someone who's older, but someone who's mature. That's the point. So we bring in men and women every year. We've been doing this since the very first year of Gateway Church, who are mature, and they prophesy over leaders in the church. But every service, then they give words in due season. And in other words, they give prophetic words to people in the congregation. And you saw some of that in the video a moment ago. So again, I'll explain all of that. Debbie and I went through Presbytery in October of 1983 at Shady Grove Church. And they prophesied over me. And Pastor Olin, now you got to remember, when I went to Shady Grove Church, I was a Southern Baptist evangelist. But I knew God was calling me to learn some more things and calling me to Shady Grove, which is now our Grand Prairie campus. And so he told me about Presbytery, and he said these men and women who have the gift, the prophetic gift, are going to come in and they're going to prophesy about the gifts and the callings that people have that will to be used in the church and in the kingdom. And he said, I'd like for you to see it. And I said, well, I'm speaking somewhere over the weekend, but I'll be back like Monday or Tuesday, and I'll come to one of the services. So I went to one of the services, and he said to the presbyters, there's a young man here and his wife. One of the presbyters actually said, who's this guy back there? He said, I got a word for him. And another one said, I have a word for him. And so he said, well, I'd like to just call him up, he and his wife, and have him kneel down and just y'all just speak whatever the Lord tells you. They didn't know if I was an insurance salesman. They didn't know anything. And of course they began to prophesy about my face being in every living room, preaching to millions, things like this that, you just don't normally prophesy over someone, And but one of the things they said, I remember, was they said, you're going to do Presbytery. And I remember thinking, yeah, right. I'm going to prophesy over someone I've never seen and tell this person what God is saying to that person and call out gifts and callings in that person. And about 2 years after that, these men who were there at that time invited me to go with them to be mentored. And so we went, and they said, now, no pressure, don't worry about it. You just relax and just press into the Lord, and if the Lord gives you something, just let us know. And so this couple walked up, they knelt down, and I just saw immediately, I just knew he's got the gift of leadership, and she's got the gift of teaching. And I just knew it. I mean, I just knew it, just like that. And so I said to the older prophet that had taken me with him, you know, I said, hey, I've got a word. He said, it's not your turn yet. I said, yeah, but I have a word. He said, it's not your turn. And so they got up, but they prophesied leadership and teaching. And so I thought, well, praise the Lord. At least I'm hearing the Lord, you know. So the next couple walked up, and I thought, these are servants in the house of the Lord. Where we get the word servant is diakonia, which is a deacon, where we get that word. So a deacon and a deaconess. There's a male and a female. And so I just thought, this is a deacon and a deaconess. This is this. You look up the word deacon in the dictionary, their pictures are going to be there. You know, I just knew. And so I said to this guy, hey, I've got a word. He said, it's not your turn yet. And then they prophesied about deacons and serving and all. And of course, that's what they did. The first couple, he was in leadership, she was in teaching. And, you know, it was just right on. It was just God confirming to them what he had called them to do. So then this young lady walked up in her 20s. And I sat there and I looked at her and I was just blank. I mean, completely blank. I had nothing. And this guy said to me, it's your turn. And I said, I don't have anything. And he said, well, you better pray because you're going to prophesy over this young lady. And so, you know, I'm just praying, God, you know, and then the Lord said something to me. I thought, you know, you have to go by faith. But it was so specific that I thought, Lord, I'm either right or I'm wrong. You know, I mean, this is like very specific. And I was just scared, you know. And so he said, go on. I said, no, I just don't feel good this time, you know. And so they prophesied over her, but they didn't say what I had. And then they prayed over her, and then she got up and she started to walk back to her seat. And I just had to say it. So I just grabbed the microphone and I said, you do too have a good testimony. Just like that. And she stopped and turned around. And I said, you have a good testimony. You don't think you have a good testimony because you never drank and you never did drugs, but you do have a good testimony and God's called you to be a missionary. Just like that. And the whole church stood up and applauded. And the pastor and his wife went over and started hugging her, and they were crying, and she was crying, and everybody was crying, and it was just, you know. So one of the associate pastors came over to me and said, she's the pastor's daughter. And tomorrow, she leaves to go to language school to be a missionary. But last weekend, she stood in front of the whole church as we prayed over her and said, I'm asking God to confirm something to me. If I'm really supposed to be a missionary, I'm asking him to confirm it at the Presbytery. She said, because I don't feel like I have a good testimony because I've never drank and I've never done drugs.
All right, James. You tired?
No,
Oh, you look tired.
I was just looking out the window.
Daydreaming. 2 cents for your thoughts.
I learned about baby Moses.
Oh, you learned about baby
Mommy
Moses.
learned yours.
Okay, what about baby Moses? What did he do?
And you can't fool her.
Yeah, I know.
The king or something,
Pharaoh?
the Pharaoh,
Okay, he's about to
wanted
sneeze. Watch out.
destroy every boy there needs everything because there was
Every baby.
a baby.
Firstborn. But different story.
Daddy needs to
Because
study.
it's not Passover this week, is it?
What happened to it? What happened to him?
And then when the mother couldn't hide him anymore, we put him in a basket
Mm-hmm.
and put him in the water.
Mm-hmm.
What?
What happened to him after that?
And then the Pharaoh's daughter told the servant to go pick up the basket, and then the mother took care of him again until he was old enough to live in the Pharaoh's house.
Awesome. Anything else you want to add in?
No.
You got any questions?
One more thing. I got more Zools in one day than I ever did.
That's amazing. Good job, buddy. Where is it? Did Daddy have it? Okay. Yeah, Daddy has them. You have any questions?
No.
You're good?
Yes, I'm good.
Okay. Hannah.
I didn't get any jewels.
Yeah,
Oh.
she didn't pass them out today. And she's the door. You know what? The next 2 times I'm the door person, so I'll pass them out, okay?
Well, hold it. She also said in the first class she had a hard time
I
paying
don't
attention.
know what
Oh,
levers
apparently you had a hard time paying
I
attention.
think the
in the
girl that
first-
came in to help with
I
us,
didn't
I
know
think
what
she was in the
the
first class.
menu
And they called her back in because that one girl was crying.
Mommy!
She came in.
I didn't know what the levers.
She wouldn't sit next to boys, so she wasn't. So they had to sit her next to.
Well, I think we need to have a talk, Hannah, when you come.
She's not wanting to. Pay
You didn't
attention
want,
to
you weren't paying
I
attention?
don't know what was the memory.
Okay, but what was the lesson about, Hannah? Mommy did the lesson. You should have been listening to Mommy.
that. Mhm.
Like always.
Was there a fish, Hannah?
I did this one again.
Okay, what was it?
5 loaves of bread and 2 loaves of fish.
And
Good
yes,
job.
and what did they do with those fish and bread?
Jesus break them into half, and then they ate them, but then they were so full.
They fed. How many? Do you remember how many people they fed with 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish?
5 plus 2 equals 7, but that's not
5,000 people.
Yeah, 5,000 people.
Yeah, that's a miracle,
Last
isn't it?
time Hannah couldn't get it, but I think she did say like 500, which is close.
All right. You have anything else you want to add? Any
And
questions?
water.
Okay, Daddy, what did you learn about today?
Barely remember.
Daddy needs to pay more attention.
No, you weren't in our class today. Because I felt like I was in 2 classes. Because we had a lot of kids. Prophetic. He was teaching about the prophetic word, and if you think God's giving you a word, to listen and follow it, but to also go to get a prophetic word as well. That he was talking about too, because we're having their prophetic night for the next couple nights, tonight, tomorrow, until Tuesday,
Wednesday.
and he was talking about the word and how in the Bible multiple times people have been given those words, and that he is telling you.
It's God talking
it's
through.
your word, yeah. He has a plan for you, like a word that, that's whatever season you're in right now to help, and that you have to take that word and put action to it as well. If you don't, then it won't matter. If he says he could say you're going to be a worship leader, but if you ignore it and don't take that, any steps to do that, then of course it won't happen. But and he talked about all the words that he's given, and the ones that people that actually listen, they
Do well.
they often
Prosper.
are true, yeah.
Alrighty. So today is my first day teaching.
Could have gone better.
What?
What?
I'm just saying because you studied the wrong lesson at the start.
Well, somebody told me.
I went in order. I didn't know that you had to click it because we don't. What I assume is the way I opened it in the phone, it just opened up the files. If you open that zip file on a computer, I guarantee it opens up to the folders, and then the folders have the dates. But when I looked at it, the date for the very first folder was not the correct date. It was the 29th of June, not the 1st. So
Okay.
you studied the. next-
I studied the wrong
So
lesson.
you'll be ready in a couple weeks.
I thought it was the one that already happened.
I don't think we
Oh,
haven't done
maybe
those yet. James just did, but I don't think we did.
Well, I have.
They could have. I didn't think we did.
Anyway.
But I can check the car for you.
Anyways, even though I didn't know what I was doing, and I went and learned it, I went out and studied for like 20 minutes before.
Yeah.
How did I do?
I know you did good.
I did.
I helped. I had to get the props for you.
Yeah, you did. I didn't.
When you were out there, she went over and I looked at the basically the layout of the lesson. I just kind of looked at the layout, so I didn't memorize any kind of like movements, which for the songs part is important. But I just looked at the baskets with the fish and the bread, and then knowing how to do the parachute. Other than that, I love to make sure we could do that.
Thank you for helping
Don't
out.
forget, because those I looked like specifically when the bread is after the video. So,
Thank you. I completely forgot that there was bread in the basket.
I didn't know if they mentioned it in the training videos.
It's not in the video. There's not in it. There's not. That's not a
It would
video.
just be in what you read, but since you didn't have time to read that.
Well, I
'cause you-
skimmed over it.
Anyways, okay.
And I had a lot of kids too.
Ready?
I'm having
It's
a
ready.
lot of kids.
Oh, we have a lot of real.
All right.
Was like not even anything.
All right. We will
Yeah,
see y'all
mine
next
really
time.
doesn't have anything.
Y'all have a beautiful and blessed day.
Can we go to Bucky?
What brought that
I
up?
don't know about that. We'll see.
Okay, love.
Maybe we'll get lunch.
Bye.
Right. Y'all have a beautiful and blessed day. Say
Get
bye.
Bye.